Hello there. This is Lagos, Nigeria, the commercial capital of Nigeria. What do you know about Lagos? What do you know about Nigeria? So we are here and we present to you our culture shocks upon landing here in Lagos. So watch this particular video to get the good, the bad, and the ugly sides of Lagos, Nigeria. And you know what? We are brutally honest, and everything we say here is perfectly unfiltered. So there we go.
Hi, I'm Tracy from Kenya. I'm Anissa from Burkina Faso. I'm Flo from Cameroon.
Give it to this.
Nicole from Kenya.
Awesome. So yeah, we're going to go direct to our culture shock. So my first culture shock, the one that I got when I arrived here, is this. This one, you can see it here. I carried it here. So back there in Kenya, I've lived in Kenya and in Rwanda. We drink water from bottles, but I was quite shocked that here they have these bags. So water is there, and then like you somehow open it and drink it from this particular polythene bags. I mean, that was quite a culture shock. I never thought, you know, this can be made for water, because I thought they are for salt or sugar or
I would love to stop you.
packages from that. But then for water, that has been quite a culture shock on my end. Yeah, I see Anissa. Anissa has a culture shock. So tell us, what is your culture shock then?
Is it a culture shock, guys? This thing is normal. This water in the bags is dope. You take it
Okay,
like this,
let me hold
fold
for
it,
you.
and then you do like this, you like this. You see, this is dope, and then you drink it. That's how I've been drinking water, but in my can. I mean, this is normal. So I don't know what you guys think about it, but maybe in your countries there is no but. Everyone is just in West
Oh,
Africa. We find it. No, I think for me, I think it's common in West Africa, but it's not common in East Africa. In East Africa, if you're buying water, it's in a bottle. Yeah, in East Africa, it's not common, but for people from West Africa, I think it's a common thing. So for us, it's a culture shock.
yeah, for us it's a culture shock. For them, they're like, wow, this is normal. I mean, this is normal. So let's go. I think Nicole has pretty much a culture shock from the way she's looking at me. So Nicole, what's your culture shock?
So how the roads are so busy and like the roads are really terrible here. And we always spell out of our KK. These KKs don't have doors. Yeah.
I'll add it on the video.
No,
but
so
yeah.
like for us from Kenya, we call them tuk tuk. Yeah, they're the ones like they're like a tricycle, like three wheeled and orange in color here. Three wheeled, one, two, three, yeah. So here they don't have doors. And I remember the first time when we boarded one, I was like, where are the doors? I was like asking the driver where the previous night. So like the drainage system here is also really bad. So it had actually rained and it was really flooded. And I was actually sitting, on the edge, and I was like, "Where are the doors? Like, how am I going to shut this?" And everybody was like just laughing. Everybody who was there, they were just laughing, and we almost fell.
And I had my laptop. What
I
did you expect?
Yeah, the driver himself
Laptop
was.
in a KK.
No, we were going to the hub. We were going to the hub, so we actually boarded one. The driver himself was heavy. And then now when we got to like the worst part, where like there was so much water, we almost fell. So we had to like come out of the KK for people to push the KK, and then now we had to like now go back. It was crazy. It was crazy.
Wow, wow, what a culture shock. What a culture shock. I see, I see. What about you, Thibaut? You mean you've lived in Rwanda, you've lived in Kenya, your country, Togo, so you have like a very diverse experience. So, what has your experience been so far in Lagos, like the culture shock that you've experienced?
Right. So for me, I didn't have like that much culture shock comparing to you guys, because basically everything that is here in Lagos is also same in Togo, so there is not that much difference. But the only thing that I can really point out that really, I mean, was like a shock was NIN. I mean, realizing that you cannot drink water without NIN, you cannot go anywhere without NIN, you go somewhere, there's you NIN. So that was actually a huge culture shock. And especially the first day that I came, I didn't have internet, so I went out to look for a SIM card, and people were looking at me. Where is your NIN? I was thinking, oh, that's my passport number, and I'm like, oh yeah, yeah, I do have a NIN. And at the end, I was showing them my passport number, and, but it was not that. And that night, I had to sleep without having a SIM card and anything. Really confused. So yeah, and even the next morning I went out, and I got a place to like to have like some kind of internet and be at least online. And after I was done there, they tell me that they don't take cash, and they don't take cash. And I said that, okay, so what can I do to pay? And they say that, oh, you need to open a sterling account or whatever. And for that I needed a BVM or something like that, but to get that you need a NIN. So I had actually to call like someone from Ghana to actually pay for me so that I could be free. So yeah.
All right, I see. So my other culture shock really was that the prices of things. So earlier on, the view I've gotten of Nigeria, and from the Nigerians I've interacted with before in school, they usually present Nigeria as this very pathetic place to live in. You know, it's like hell. So I had this expectation of a Nigeria or a Lagos where everything is unbearable. But then here, as Tracy and Nicole will all tell you, things are way cheaper than I expected. I mean, I thought the country is so broken, but then if you go to restaurants, I mean, things are so cheap. If you go to local market, things are so cheap. And I mean, okay, according to me, I mean, Nigeria is a livable place, a place you can actually live comfortably because I mean, things are cheap here. I don't know. Maybe I'm saying a lie. Let them confirm.
Yeah, okay. We have to talk back about this NIN thingy.
Okay,
And I
then
don't know if you guys heard, we cannot drink water without NIN. And something fun fact about me, I was about to get my NIN, and somebody in the room that is not shown in the camera just stopped me from doing it. Anyway, so that NIN thing is very like there is no space for foreigners in the system. If you come, you just have to get that NIN. Um I don't think that Nigeria is that livable place as you are just making it so fancy. I understand that it's good, it's okay, but for somebody who studies online, somebody at ALU is kind of very challenging concerning the light off and on. This is this is something this is something very interesting because you wake up in the morning, all of a sudden you have no light. You have no light, and and some internet. So actually, it is you can find things that are cheap, but don't say that it is perfect place to live in. Yeah, it's not that cheap.
yeah, Anissa is saying that even though things are cheap here, but on the other you pay with the lack of electricity. Anyway, Tracy say something.
I want to add on to what Anissa has said. Okay, in terms of food, I think it's way cheaper than Kigali or maybe Kenya in terms of like buying food from the market or like just buying cooked food. But in terms of Wi-Fi, internet is quite pricey here compared to like compared to Nairobi. You know, like in Kenya, you'll go to most places, restaurants, even markets, and then you'll find like this free Wi-Fi. But here, you have to have that MTN or Airtel card, SIM card, which we didn't have at first. We stayed like almost 4 days without having a SIM card, and that was really quite. unbearable for us. And you wake up every day and then there's no electricity. I don't know what's happening in Lagos. I don't know what's happening in Nigeria. Electricity is such a problem. And for us who are like doing most of our classes virtually, it's quite a struggle because you have to like go to the hub every day, and it's really raining here in the morning, so there's no electricity. And you know how hot it is in Lagos. You need to use the AC. There is no electricity. I'm in shock. Like, this country is so resourceful. What's wrong with electricity? So yeah, I think that was also a culture shock for me. Flo hasn't said anything. Yeah.
Give us a culture shock.
Um, I mean, sincerely, I feel like the Cameroon and Nigeria share a lot of cultural similarities. So far, there's not really something that I can say it's really a culture shock for me. But maybe like yeah, the police, yeah, exactly, when the police stopped us, only because simply because the only people in the car were young people, and they were thinking that we were
Yahoo
both
boys.
Yahoo boys and
Yeah.
girls. Yeah, but I mean, we have that in my country as well, but they were not. They're not that aggressive. These guys, they were like really aggressive, and they like come out with their guns, and it was quite scary. But yeah, apart from that, everything is quite normal. Yeah, for me.
Excuse me, what is Yahoo Boy again? I'm not getting.
Scammers.
Oh.
Yeah. Another thing we've not talked about. You know how in Kigali, when you buy your SIM card, it's already like linked to your Momo.
Yeah.
Or in Kenya, when you buy Safaricom, M-Pesa, Airtel, you have Airtel Money. So here, getting a SIM card is like quite different. You get your SIM card, and then you have to have that NIN or BVN, and then open a bank account so for you to start doing transaction. So you don't like do transaction direct from your SIM card. That is different. You get your SIM card differently, and then now separately you now go get what an account with here in Nigeria, which is quite a lot of like
Yeah,
work. Yeah, it's too much work because once you get a SIM card, I think you should just like be able to transact money from your Momo. But now you have to like now open a different bank account after having that, and then the system does not like acknowledge like foreigners, because as foreigners we're not put into the system. We don't have NIN, we don't have BVN, so it makes it so hard for us to like open bank accounts. It makes it hard for us to like get SIM cards and transact money.
All right. So for BVN, BVN means bank verification number. Yeah, if I'm right, and is it's unique too. It is that one person has a unique verification number. So me and Anissa, we can't have the same BVN number. It's not possible. So it's for bank verification. So I can get as many bank accounts that I want with just a BVN number. And also, is this for tracking? Yeah, in finance there are so many security breaches, security check that they have to put in place. So
Why does Nigeria have all of these checks? Why does Nigeria have all of these procedures? Like, is there a particular reason, a reputation or something? Yeah, because it's not very
uh
common.
yeah, it's not very common, but I believe they are common in some other countries too. Just for security check, just for to know that this is the identity of this person. So if probably they are looking for a scammer, they can always get them with their SIM card. Let's say you left your SIM card somewhere and we get hold of that SIM card, so we can always track you with that particular SIM card.
But if you register with your passport, isn't that also a way that they can track you instead of like using all these things, NIN, BVN, right? You can just like register with your passport and you're good to go.
What do you want to register with your passport? For your SIM card?
Yes, and for your bank details.
Okay. You can always register with your passport, but I think it depends on the vendor that you have, because there are so many immigrants in the country and they don't expect them to have NIN. So I believe you can register with a passport number, but it depends on the vendor that you went to. NIN is national identity number, and
And what
just for
BVN?
it's just for identification, like it's just a number assigned. So every Nigerian has a unique number, and is that NIN number.
So you can use it for different registrations. Let's say you want to get your passport, you want to get your SIM card, so that they can trace you at any point if you commit a crime. Let's say you stole something or you killed someone, they can always track you with a unique number. That's what NIN means. And BVN means bank verification number. I'm right with all these acronyms, anyways. But yeah, the same thing is a unique number that everyone has, and majorly they use it for bank verification. So you have just one VBN number, but you can use it to. You can, this thing is disturbing.